Shane Mosley's son. I think Ramos won, but he needs to work on throwing the jab. Ramos, I think he really beat, the guy that Virgil Ortiz just knocked out. I think he actually, I think he actually beat him, and they gave the fight to the guy that Virgil Ortiz knocked out. Lubin, Lubin, remember him? Yeah, the Hammer Lubin. I think the Hammer Lubin really lost against Jesus Ramos, and Jesus Ramos is doing enough to beat this guy, Shane Mosley's son. I believe that the fight is like there's a lot of back and forth, but I believe that Jesus Ramos needs to throw the jab more. He throws a lot of wide hooks, and he's a good fighter, but I think he looked better when he fought Lubin, and they didn't give him the fight. And right now, I think he's winning the fight. He's in the last round right now. I saw the whole fight from round 2 and on. And I think that Jesus Ramos is winning the fight. But every now and then, Shane Mosley's son keeps coming back. You know, when you think he's finished, he comes back with a flurry. And he has a lot of heart. But I think he's losing the fight. And I don't know. As far as the main event, with Teofimo, not Teofimo, but as far as Lamont Roach and Pitbull CRUZ, who do you guys think is going to win this fight? I think that it's a really, really intriguing matchup because the winner of this fight gets to fight the full champion, WBC champion, Subriel Matias. But Subriel Matias is probably going to fight Alberto Puello after he defeats Dalton Smith. Or we don't know what happens with the Dalton Smith-Subriel Matias fight. Anybody could win, but I think Subriel Matias is going to win and he's going to punish Dalton Smith. But it's going to be an interesting fight. We're going to see just how good or just how bad Dalton Smith is. But this fight, the winner of the Lamont Roach versus Pitbull CRUZ is gonna be fighting the WBC champion. This is for the interim WBC championship that Pitbull CRUZ has right now, and I believe that Lamont Roach, if he doesn't get the fight with Subriel Matias, he said he's gonna go to the 135 weight class division to see who's willing to fight him. But I believe if he waits patiently for the winner of Dalton Smith versus Subriel Matias, waits patiently for them to fight Alberto Puello, the winner of that fight, and then after that fight, I think that that fight could be made with Lamont Roach versus Subriel Matias or Dalton Smith. But I think it's going to be Subriel Matias that wins that fight. What do you guys think? As far as the main event right now, who do you think is going to win, Lamont Roach or Pitbull CRUZ? I'm live right now watching the fights. I don't want to miss the other fights, but I just wanted to give you a little update on Teofimo versus Shakurstevenson. The fight is going to happen January 31st, and I believe a lot of people are giving Teofimo Lopez too much credit for his boxing ability. He is a really good boxer. He's very talented. I'm not taking that away from him, but he's no longer the fighter that beat Lomachenko, and a lot of people are giving him so much credit, and some people, delusional people, are saying that he is a better boxer. Teofimo Lopez is a better, more athletic than Shakurstevenson. They're insane. They're really insane. All you have to do is ask the question: if Kambosos was able to beat Teofimo Lopez from pillar to post and hurt him and knock him down, do you still think that Teofimo Lopez is more athletic than Shakurstevenson? Answer that question. If Kambosos, a limited fighter who lost back-to-back fights against Devin Haney, and this guy also lost to Richard Hitchinson and got knocked out by Richard Hitchinson. He's not an elite fighter, Kambosos. And if Kambosos was able to make Teofimo Lopez look like trash, and a limited fighter like that, do you still think that Teofimo Lopez is more athletic than Shakurstevenson? That's a great question. I think punch drunk is punch drunk to believe that this guy is the most athletic fighter that Shakurstevenson has ever faced. All right, is he the most athletic fighter that Teofimo Lopez has ever faced? That Shakurstevenson has ever faced? Teofimo Lopez, is Teofimo Lopez the most athletic fighter that Shakur Stevenson has ever faced. I think that's possible. Yeah, I could agree with that. But is he more athletic? Is Teofimo Lopez more athletic than Shakur Stevenson? Hell no. If Kambosos was able to beat Teofimo Lopez from pillar to post, how in the world is anybody going to believe that Teofimo Lopez is more athletic than Shakur Stevenson? People like that need to get their head examined. They're on crack. There's something wrong with them if they think that. Tainted Town Music. Stealing from anyone is wrong. What's your point, Tainted Town Music? What is your point? No one is stealing. Why are you accusing me? You're probably a Donald Trump supporter. Donald Trump supporter. That's why. Always accusing people of stuff they're not doing. Anyway, back. I gave you your 15 seconds of fame. You try to taint me because your name is Tainted Town Music. Tainted Town Music. You got your 15 seconds of fame. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. You got the greatest right here. One of the greatest, Felix Diesel Trinidad. You got over here Elviso Campos. You got over here Muhammad Ali, who I met when I was 13 years old. Roberto Clemente right there in the back. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. So, do you actually think that Teofimo Lopez is gonna beat Shakur Stevenson? Let me give me your comments. To all the people tuning in and all my fans and all the people that tune in, and give me your comments and give me your feedback. Let me know who you think is gonna win between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. And do you think that Shakur Stevenson? No. Do you think that Teofimo Lopez is more athletic than Shakur Stevenson? That is a stupid question. Of course he's not. But I'm asking the question because Punch Drunk actually was saying that he is the most athletic fighter that Shakur Stevenson has ever faced. That could be true, but at the same time, for people to say that Teofimo Lopez is more athletic than Shakur Stevenson, they need to get their head examined. I think that's a stupid statement, and there's a lack of knowledge in boxing to actually agree to that, to actually believe that Teofimo Lopez is more athletic than Shakur Stevenson. You must be really delusional, and there must be some loose screw in your head if you actually believe that to be true. I know for a fact that Shakur Stevenson is going to dominate Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is a really good fighter. He's not the same Teofimo Lopez that beat Lomachenko, and the Josh Taylor that he beat was 18 months inactive. So it's really an overrated victory that Teofimo Lopez has over Josh Taylor, because it's not the Josh Taylor that Teofimo Lopez beat was the Josh Taylor that was inactive for 18 months, and it was not the best version of Josh Taylor that Teofimo Lopez defeated. So a lot of people give too much credit to Teofimo Lopez, but other than those two fights, Teofimo Lopez has not looked good, except for Barbosa too. So other than those 3 fights, he has not looked good. And a lot of other fights, he looked very, very questionable with Martin. You know, Martin actually beat him. And there's a lot of other fights that he took. Claggett, he didn't look too impressive at all. But I believe he's training hard for Shakur Stevenson, because whenever he's fighting an elite fighter, he's on his A game. He trains hard. But I truly believe that since Kambosos defeated Teofimo Lopez, he is no longer the same. He is no longer the same fighter that he was when he lost. After he lost to Kambosos, he's no longer the same fighter mentally and physically when he beat Lomachenko. He's no longer the same fighter that beat Lomachenko. No, he's the fighter that lost to Kambosos, the limited fighter with no skills, very one-dimensional, straightforward, and was dominated by Devin Haney in back-to-back fights, and was knocked out by Richardson Hitchin. That's Kambosos, that is. Kambosos was beat from pillar to post by Richardson Hitchinson in a very impressive victory from the Brooklynite Richardson Hitchinson. I believe that the 140-pound weight class is very interesting right now, and I said it before in previous videos that Shakur Stevenson, once he beats and dominates Teofimo Lopez, which he's going to do, he is going to vacate the championship. That's what he said in previous interviews not too long ago. So I said it. Tony also knows boxing said it, that Shakur Stevenson is going to vacate his title to give Keyshawn Davis an opportunity to fight for it. That's what he said. So I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm sticking to what I said. Shakur Stevenson is going to vacate the title once he beats Teofimo Lopez for the 140 weight class WBO championship. Once he beats him, he's gonna vacate the title so he can give Keyshawn Davis the opportunity to fight for it. That's exactly what he said a while back. So yes, so Teofimo Lopez is gonna get humiliated by Shakur Stevenson, and it's just gonna bring the best version of Shakur Stevenson once they fight. So that's exactly what's gonna take place. And a lot of people are not giving Shakur Stevenson the credit for the great talent that he is, the great boxing ability that he has, and the pedigree of boxing. He doesn't come, he comes every 20 years. So fighters like Shakur Stevenson come every 20 years. He is a class all by himself. He's an elite level fighter, and there's not many fighters that are that great defensively and offensively, because he's proven it against the Mexican fighter that he beat, William Cepeda recently. So I believe that William Cepeda would have given Teofimo Lopez problems, definitely. Ok, yo hablo español, mi hermano. Disculpa que, ok, tú estás hablando así de mí, pero yo hablo español, pero tengo muchos seguidores que hablan en inglés también. So estoy tratando de hablar también en español y en inglés, pero ahora mismito, si tú quieres que yo hable en español, voy a hablar en español, pero no me insultes, porque este canal es de respeto. ERLEA 2094. Ok. So, tú quieres decir cosas negativas. Yo estoy diciendo que Teofimo Lopez, si perdió con Cambose, ¿cómo van a decir que él es un boxeador más atlético que Shakur Stevenson? ¿Cómo van a decir eso? Si él lució muy mal con Cambose y Cambose lo dominó y lo tumbó y lo golpeó y lo lastimó, y es un boxeador que no tiene muchas dimensiones, no es un boxeador elite, es un boxeador que solo va para el frente, Cambose. ¿Cómo van a decir que Teofimo Lopez es un mejor boxeador y más atlético que Shakur Stevenson cuando él no pudo ni ganarle a Cambose y nunca le dio la revancha a Camboso? Y Camboso es un boxeador que lo dominaron 2 veces en Australia. Devin Haney lo dominó y también perdió con Richardson Hutchinson, que Richardson Hutchinson es un boxeador que boxea y también sabe calcular los errores del oponente y lo noqueó. So, no es nada que yo no esperaba. Yo sabía que Camboso iba a perder con Richardson Hutchinson porque él no es un boxeador elite, pero lo que yo no entiendo es cómo van a decir la gente que creen que sabe de boxeo. Dicen que Teofimo Lopez es un boxeador más atlético y que tiene más boxeo que Shakur Stevenson. Eso no me cabe en la cabeza, eso no tiene sentido. ¿Cómo van a decir eso con Shakur Stevenson? Es un boxeador elite que sabe boxear y sabe contraatacar y sabe dominar los oponentes y tiene defensa y ofensa. Lo demostró con William Cepeda. Y William Cepeda le gana a Teofimo. William Cepeda, boxeadores que ponen mucha presión y tienen muchas combinaciones, le ganan a Teofimo Lopez. Pero Teofimo López no puede ser, no deben de decir que Teofimo López tiene más boxeo y es más atlético que Shakur Stevenson cuando no pudo dominar un boxeador como Camboso, que no sabe ni boxear, que es uno dimensional y solo va hacia el frente y no tiene defensa y no pudo ganarle a él. ¿Cómo van a decir que Teofimo Lopez es un boxeador más atlético que Shakur Stevenson? No tiene sentido, eso no me cabe en la cabeza. Eso es bobería. Si una persona piensa que Teofimo Lopez es más atlético que Shakur Stevenson, tiene que examinar su cabeza y tiene que estudiar más del boxeo, porque eso no tiene sentido. Eso no me cabe en la cabeza que pueden mencionar a Teofimo Lopez como un boxeador que es más atlético que Shakur Stevenson. Eso es bobería, eso es pendejería. Cualquier persona que dice eso, que cree eso, no sabe del boxeo. Teofimo Lopez no está al mismo nivel que Shakur Stevenson, y Shakur Stevenson va a demostrar su babilla y su calidad y que él es más elite y por qué él es el mejor, uno de los mejores pound for pound del mundo. Y la gente no quiere darle el crédito cuando él demostró que puede pelear con William Cepeda. Él no tiene que pelear para complacer a todos los fanáticos. Él debe de pelear como él siempre pelea, pero también demostró que puede pelear cuando necesita y boxear cuando necesita y dominar. Y eso es lo que hizo con William Cepeda, que muchos lo tenían rankeado bien alto a William Cepeda, y un gran boxeador, pero yo sabía que no le iba a ganar a Shakurstevenson. Pero ¿quién tú crees que va a ganar? ¿Shakurstevenson o Teofimo López? Yo digo que Teofimo López va a ganar por decisión unánime. Y creo que también puede tumbar a Teofimo López. Lo puede tumbar a la lona, yo creo. Ok, yo hablo español para ti. Lea 2094, pero no me insulte, no me insulte. Si tú vas a venir en este canal, tú no puedes insultarme, porque eso es una falta de respeto. Tú sabes que yo sé hablar español, pero si no me sigues, no vas a saber. Pero parece que tú no me has seguido, por eso es que tú piensas que yo no hablo en español. Yo he entrevistado a Abisael Cotto, a Yanquiel Rivera, he entrevistado al hijo de Tito, al primo de Tito Trinidad, el sobrino de Tito Trinidad, Joey Borrero, en español, Malik Quiñones. Yo he entrevistado a Stephanie Piñero también, que es campeona interina. Yo sé hablar español, pero no tengo que demostrarte a ti que sé el español. Pero si tú quieres que yo hable español, yo voy a hablar español, pero no me falte respeto. ¿Oíste? Porque en el canal mío, si tú vas a venir ahí con respeto, ok, yo hablo español, pero no me digas a mí, habla español bobo. Dice Lea 2094. Lea 2094 dice Cipayo. Ok, está diciendo palabras exóticas que yo no conozco, pero yo sé español. ¿De qué país tú eres, mi hermano? Te voy a tratar con respeto, pero pídeme disculpas por el insulto. Pídeme disculpas por el insulto, porque yo no te he insultado a ti. Mi hermano, suscríbete a mi canal, Tony Also Knows Boxing. ¿Quién tú crees que va a ganar? Teofimo López o Shakurstevenson. Y en esta noche, Pitbull CRUZ y LAMONT ROACH Jr. ¿Quién tú crees que va a ganar? Who do you think is going to win? LAMONT ROACH Jr. and Pitbull CRUZ. Who do you have winning? I have the fight, LAMONT ROACH winning by unanimous decision. And he's going to have a little tough fight in the beginning of the fight. But I think he's going to dominate most of the fight. LAMONT ROACH by unanimous decision. And I also think that Teofimo Lopez is going to be dominated by Shakurstevenson as well. And he's possibly going to get knocked down. And if Shakurstevenson knocks him out, that's a plus. That's a plus. I mean, Shakurstevenson has the skills and he has the speed, and he's levels way above he's levels above Teofimo Lopez. Let's not get that twisted. Teofimo Lopez is overrated. He is overrated. I said it. That's right. Tony also said it. Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Teofimo Lopez is no longer the best version of himself when he fought Lomachenko. He lost to Kambosos. He's not on the same athletic pedigree as Shakurstevenson. Do not compare Teofimo Lopez to Shakurstevenson. There's levels, and Shakurstevenson is on a higher level. Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. I got Teofimo Lopez losing against Shakurstevenson, and I say that to all the haters that think that I be hating on Teofimo Lopez. I just keep it real. Shakurstevenson's going to dominate him and beat him, and he's going to show why he is one of the best and the most skillful fighters out there right now. And I say that to Punch Drunk too, who keeps sleeping on Shakurstevenson and keeps, saying that Teofimo Lopez is the best thing since pancakes. I don't know. But anyway, subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. And I got Pitbull CRUZ losing by unanimous decision by LAMONT ROACH Jr., but it's going to be competitive in the early rounds. But I believe that LAMONT ROACH is going to dominate him and do his thing. And I believe Shakurstevenson is going to win by unanimous decision. Peace. Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Suscríbete a mi canal. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Tony Also Knows Boxing.